There's a line drive high and deep to left. It is gone! 3-run home run, Kyle Kubat. Fly ball to left, Sweeney hit well, and oh, Charlie Capsetta, what a play! Here's a line drive out to center field. It's a grand slam! Going back is Shaw. He is going to get there. What a catch! And he's going to hop over the fence while doing it. What a coming home. It's Morales to throw. On double up! It's in time! It's in time! Here's a rocket. Deep left field. Does this have a chance to go? It is gone! Go ahead, homer. Tyler Wiltsey on the first pitch. Play call throw back on the 14th, and there's number 100. Stephen Devaney with a line drive to left. He's 2 for 2. And with triple digits for number 1 as difference. And here's a ground ball shooting through the left side. And Kingsway has won the Ralph Shaw opener. Here we go. Fly ball deep left center field. And it is gone. Grand slam. Scott Lynch, grand slam. Is the man of the hour. There's a ground ball that's going to go into center field. Going to be picked up, and it's going to be booted. Here comes the runner to the plate, and Pitman has won it in extras. Walk-off single, Jude Engstrom. Bases loaded. 2 outs. Just like they drew it up in Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swinging on us! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons in the Ralph Shaw Classic.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Game 2 of 3 in the Tri-County Baseball League semifinals between the CHBR Third Base Club and Cherry Hill Pitman. We're here from Alcyon Park, deep in the woods of Pitman, NJ, here with my producer Vincent Vogt and myself, Dan Wilkins. Welcome to Game 2 of 3 between the CHBR and the CHB Club, 2 of Cherry Hill's top baseball clubs meeting down here in Pitman tonight. Players are just wrapping up their warm-ups. The storylines for this game are pretty big. CHBR had the second seed in the Tri-County League playoffs. They got the second bye in their playoff seeding and were able to roll over Haddonfield in a 2-1 series victory. But let's talk about what the scenarios are at play. Let's take a look at what's been going on in the last 24 hours. If you were watching from this ballpark last night, you saw the Rough Riders take down the Gardens of Vineland 2-0 with Ian Murphy hitting a 2-run double to center field in the 5th inning, and then Mason Dobbs getting out of a bases-loaded jam in the 7th to win the ball game. But CHP had a lot easier of a road last night, beating the CHBR club 10-1 at the Camden Athletic Complex with a 3-for-3 game for Montana Millward, and Chris Rollins throwing a 4-hit shutout, or excuse me, not a shutout, but a 4-hit 1-run game with 8 strikeouts. Now these guys, it's going to be a really interesting game, I think, for 2 reasons. One, because it's a number 2 seed that could very well go down in a sweep in the semifinals and give us a 4 versus 6 seed Carter Cup Finals next week. And for the second reason being that CHBR is the only team out of these 4 that weren't in the Tri-County League semifinals last year. They were the only team that wasn't. The Rough Riders were in the semifinals last year, the Gardens of Vineland were in the semifinals last year, and so were the CHP club. So that's something different that we haven't seen this year, is that CHBR is making their deepest playoff run in years. This is their best season in their 19 years of being a club in the Tri-County League. So today's question is, will CHBR hold on and force a Game 3 in Camden tomorrow night, or will CHP sweep and advance to the Carter Cup Finals here in 2023? Here at Alcyon Park, which will be next week, by the way, August 7, 8, and 9. Stay tuned on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting for more updates. As these guys get ready, umpires are meeting in the dugouts. We'll take a quick break, and we'll give you starting lineups in just a moment. From Alcyon Park, it's the CHP and the CHBR facing off in Tri-County semifinal action. We'll be right back. Here we are from beautiful Alcyon Park on a wonderful, picturesque Tuesday evening. We've got ourselves Tri-County semifinal action with Robert Humes starting for CHP. Let's get you the starting lineups for both sides here in the pregame show on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. For the visitors, the CHBR third base club, it's Sean Sesdewicki, the shortstop, batting leadoff. Bobby Woodward behind the plate, batting second. Justin Sesdewicki, the right fielder, batting third. Excuse me, got a word salad going on there. Julian Costa batting fourth at first base. Rob Schweitzer is the left fielder, batting fifth. Frankie Ebling is the pitcher and DH, batting sixth. Aiden Huey is the center fielder, batting seventh. Ryan Dipper is the extra hitter, batting eighth. Jared Hernandez is the third baseman, batting ninth. And John Rorick of Kingsway is the second baseman, batting 10th. For the CHP club, we've got Billy Rice in center field, Adrian Gonzalez at the shortstop spot, batting second. Chris Rollins is going to take the spot at third tonight. We've got Luke Lesh at first base, batting fourth. Montana Millward in right, batting fifth. Lou Alvarado behind the plate, batting sixth. Sean Cottrell, the DH, batting seventh. Brett Kusher, the left fielder, batting eighth. John Griffin, the second baseman, batting ninth. And then Steve Masson, the extra hitter, batting 10th. So here we go. Getting it started, Sean Sesdewicki for CHBR third base here in Game 2 of the Tri-County Baseball League semifinals between the CHBR club and the CHP club. Same time, same place as yesterday from Alcyon Park here in beautiful Pitman, NJ. Let's get it started. Getting set, Rob Humes. He looks down his catcher Alvarado and delivers a first pitch strike to lead off the ball game. CHBR, just like the Rough Riders last night, have a lot of exuberant personalities in their dugout, as exemplified best there, as the 0-1 is another strike. 0-2. Yeah, the Sesdewicki brothers in the order, batting first and third, and a three-pitch strikeout for Rob Humes gives him the first punch out of the night. And there's one away. Here's Bobby Woodward. Power hitting catcher for CHBR. Has a handful of home runs this year, the most for a catcher in the Tri-County League this year. As there's a strike on a bunt, and it's 0-1. That one's popped up out towards third, going over as Rollins towards the foul line, and he makes the catch, 2 down. So now here is Justin Sesdewicki. A quick 2 outs for Rob Humes. Got Woodward to pop out on 2 pitches and got Sean Sesdewicki to strike out on 3. That one's up and away. The first ball issued by Humes tonight, and it's 1-0. That one's hit well, but out to straightaway center field, and actually coming in and left and making the catch will be Brett Kusher to retire the side. 3 up, 3 down for Cherry Hill, Babe Ruth. We go to the bottom of the first, no score here in Game 2. Billy Rice leading it off for Cherry Hill Pitman here in the bottom of the first inning, as the left-handed center fielder will start off the offensive campaign for the CHP or Kips Bad Guys Club tonight. As no score after a half inning of play. We'll see what their starting pitcher for CHBR, that being, excuse me, blanked out on the name there for a second, but it is Tommy Angelucci who delivers a strike. It's 0-1. Inside, 1-0. One and one. Rice with a hot shot in the right field, a base hit. Couldn't have lined it any better than that, and Rice is going to lead off his side's campaign with a base hit. And this is going to bring up Adrian Gonzalez. It's a good piece of hitting. I mean, you know, I thought it was going to be a fairly routine ground ball out to first where Julian Costa was, but I think that, I don't know if he was expecting the ball to be a little bit more straightforward, but went right past him. So here is Adrian Gonzalez facing Frankie Ebling, excuse me, not Tommy Angelucci. Angelucci would probably start game 3 if necessary, but a pop-up behind the plate goes foul and out of play, 0-1 on a bunt attempt. Frankie Ebling of Gwynedd Mercy University with a 3.14 ERA in 14 1/3 innings. One complete game shutout on his record this year, but a 1.95 whip. He's kind of like a mini Ohtani, if you will. He's batting .320 with a .946 OPS, but also holding his own on the mound. I mean, you see a lot of times, we've seen a lot of two-way players in high school baseball. You know, especially in Jersey with the smaller schools, a lot of places, especially like Audubon and Pitman, you know, you look at Stephen Devaney of Pitman or Scott Lynch of Audubon, you've got a lot of guys that can pitch and hit, but usually one trait is better than the other, and when they go to college to play baseball, it ends up being pretty much fizzled out by the time you get to college. But there's a couple good two-way players out in college too. Out in NCAA baseball, as Gonzalez lifts one out to center field. Going over and making the catch will be Aiden Huey, and there's one down. So a base hit by Rice and a fly out to center by Adrian Gonzalez sets the stage for Chris Rollins, the player manager. Now I will say that Rollins spoke to me in the dugout before the ball game today, and he said, when I go deep tonight, let everyone know that that's what I said. So letting everyone know as a public disclaimer that Chris Rollins did make that call tonight. He'll be looking for a long ball here to jumpstart the offense for the Kips Bad Guys, as he's certainly swinging like he wants a home run, but it's a foul ball over towards the Little League field, and it's 0-1. I mean, Pitman is a fairly hitter-friendly park. 310 down the lines, 365 to center, and the ball carries fairly well, a lot like West Deptford does, you know, with a similar fence height and similar dimensions as well, although West Deptford is a fair bit more pitcher-friendly. As there's a line drive into center field, a base hit. Rice moves up to second. And Chris Rollins gets a base hit, bringing up Luke Lesh. Lesh with the two-toned helmet, white on the backside, black on the front side. He's going to try to bring in the first run of the ball game with 2 on and only 1 out. There's a strike to Lesh, 0-1. Montana Millward, who went 3 for 3 last night in Camden. He is on deck for CHP. And it's going to be 1-1 to the left-handed first baseman, Lesh. Yeah, right now Austin Lay is out for at least the rest of this series with a back injury, so they're going to try to play it safe with Austin Lay while he recovers from that. So as we said, Montana Millward in right, and then for CHP, Brett Kuchar in right field. Or, excuse me, Brett Kuchera. That one's foul. Over towards the press box behind home plate, and it's 2-2. Beautiful evening here from Pitman, even more beautiful than last night was. It's 79 degrees with wind blowing to the north and northwest at 7 miles per hour, so that's basically like blowing in from left field. Still, real feel is 79, really low humidity. It's going to be about 84 tomorrow if we cover a game 3. It's going to just miss outside, and it's 3-2. When we get to the Carter Cup finals, Monday is looking like it's going to be a threat of rain with 88 degrees and 60% chance of thunderstorms. But then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday are both in the high 80s, but still look pretty good. There's a pop-up. Out towards third. And infield fly was called, so that will be the second out. Honestly, with modern umpires these days, I don't see too many infield flies called, but it is interesting that they did still opt to call that one on the shallow outfield grass. But here's Montana Millward. The infield fly is one of those rules that is very ambiguous in baseball all around, because like a lot of high school umpires usually don't call it. There's a line drive in the left for a base hit. Rice is going to hold at third. The throw to home is on the line, and the bases are loaded after the base hit by Millward, bringing up Lou Alvarado, the catcher. Sixth man in the inning to hit here for CHP. It's going to make it an interesting situation after CHBR has already had their backs against a wall in this series with a 10-1 loss last night. They're now going to try to get a little redemption, but it's not looking too great in the first inning. Swing and a miss. 0-1 to Alvarado. Rice on third, Chris Rollins on second base. Alvarado pops one down the first base line and out of play over towards the soccer field. And it's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. And 2 outs with the bases loaded. CHBR looking to get out of quite a large jam here. Ebling delivers the 0-2. Ground ball, hot shot out towards short, picked up, and the throw to second is in time to retire the side. I thought he was going to go for first, but he got the easiest out available. CHP leaves the bases loaded. Now CHBR looks to remedy that with some offense of their own in the top half. We'll be right back. No score after 1. A full parking lot tonight here at Alcyon Park. It's filled up pretty quickly in the last hour as no score after one between CHP and CHBR. It's going to be Julian Costa, the first baseman, leading off for the third base club after a 1-2-3 outing to lead off the ball game off of Rob Humes. So Costa, look at this first pitch, and it's inside. Big swing and a miss without in front, and it's 1-1. Costa of Westchester University batting .636 in his very small sample size with 7 for 11, 1.824 OPS. There's a strike. But he's a big power guy. 2 doubles out of those 7 hits and 1 homer, 5 RBIs, and a .733 on base percentage. But I think he joined just before the cutoff to be playoff eligible, and considering his regular season numbers, they definitely needed him for the playoffs. So we'll have to see what he can do here. That one's a foul ball. Really putting everything he can into that, but it's still 2-2. It is Costa, Rob Schweitzer, and Frankie Ebling, the 3 due up here for CHBR in the top half of the second. You're watching coverage of Dan Wilkins Broadcasting in the Tri-County Baseball League semifinals here from Alcyon Park in Pitman. If you have any questions or comments about today's broadcast, drop me a line at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com. That one's upstairs. That email can also be found in the description of this YouTube video. If you just hit the show more button. Would love to hear your input. Popped up. Gonzalez calling for it in shallow center. He makes the catch. 1 away. So here's Schweitzer. I think that's what makes CHP's defense so good, is that, Gonzalez being a team leader, he calls for it, He wants the ball. He wants to catch the ball every single time, and that's what he does best, so. Humes delivers the first pitch to Schweitzer, and this one's popped up behind home plate, going over towards the on-deck circle, and Rollins crashes against the CHP dugout. He couldn't make the catch, but he comes back out. He went all out for that. He crashed right into the dugout, went through a fence in order to make the play, and all it is a foul ball. Talk about putting it all out on the line. I mean, wow. Truly a very applaudable effort, and Rollins, he must have had an extra, bang energy or something before the game, because he is all jacked up right now, and he is 100% just in it to win it. 0-1, it's going to be inside. I mean, remember, I'm sorry, not Rollins, Rob Humes going out there. I was just surprised. There's a line drive past Griffin in the right for a base hit. Picked up in right by Millward. It's going to be a base hit for Rob Schweitzer. Yeah, I've never seen Humes try to make such a ridiculous catch before. There's a strike to Frankie Ebling, as we said, batting in the 300s. And out of Gwynedd Mercy University, out in eastern PA, probably about an hour and a half from here, if I had to guess. Humes delivers the 0-1. That's another strike. 1-2. Or no, 1-1. Sorry. Didn't see any signal from the home plate umpire. Throw back to first, nothing going on there. After this, if the inning or no, there's one out, so the inning will continue unless there's a double play. Aiden Huey's on deck. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Humes delivers. The entire outfield was looking for a strike call, but he couldn't get it, and it's going to be 2-2. Cottrell, Kuchera, and Griffin due up for CHP in the bottom half of the second. There's a floater out towards second. Griffin makes the catch and holds that runner at first for the second out. Now Huey will check in here. Seventh man in the order for CHBR. Still some folks walking on the outer trails here at Alcyon. Bring you out to the Alcyon Lake. That one's a foul ball. 0-1. Aiden Huey of Salem. Batting .263, 300 flat on base percentage, and a .774 OPS. He's got one singular homer, 5 for 19, one walk, one stolen base, and he's even got a .225 ERA on the hill. Humes delivers. That one's going to be missing down low. That one just missed. He got him. Humes sets down Huey and the side is retired. CHBR got their first base runner of the night, but couldn't get any further. It's no score after 1.5. We'll be right back. Beautiful view of the Pitman Water Tower. This broadcast is brought to you by DJK Roofing, South Jersey's #1 roofing supplier with over 200 5-star reviews on the web. Get a free quote today at 856-778-3900. Cherry Hill Pitman with no offense yet. They've had a couple of singles and they left the bases loaded in the first inning, but it's going to be Sean Cottrell, the DH, leading off here versus Frankie Ebling of Gwinnett Mercy. in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch, swing and a miss, 0-1. It'll be Cottrell and then Brett Kuchera and John Griffin, the second baseman, the first three here for CHP. Here in beautiful Alcyon Park, Pitman, NJ. 79 degrees tonight. Really no wind. Got a wonderful view of some thick clouds to our like 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock range. Absolutely beautiful night for baseball here on the 1st of August. One's up and in. It'll be 2-1. Of course, the trade deadline is come and gone. Justin Verlander went to the Astros, or back to the Astros after having a 4-month rental with the Mets. And Phillies really only did one trade, and they got Michael Lorenzen from the Detroit Tigers in exchange for, I believe, a Korean shortstop, Hao-Yu Lee. But he was basically blocked by Trey Turner and Bryson Stott, so it was just best to give him another opportunity. But he'll join some other Phillies out there in Detroit. Matt Vierling, Nick Maton. I do miss Matt Vierling, but you know, you just got to move on at some point. There's the foul ball. Still 2-2 to Cottrell. Swing and a miss. Ebling with the strikeout, and there's one away. And here's Brett Kuchera, batting in the 8th position here for CHP. Kuchera out of Arcadia University in the famous Skip Wilson field. He is going to take a strike here. He's batting .175, 11 for 63, 7 walks, .495 OPS. And he's going to launch this one out towards left center field, going back and not going to get there. It's going to bounce in front of the wall, and a double for Kuchera gets the offense going at least a little bit here with one down. I believe that was Kuchera's first extra base hit of the year. And indeed, it actually was not. He had 4 doubles in the regular season, but still no triples or homers. So Kuchera puts a charge into one and puts CHP in scoring position here in the bottom of the second, setting it up for the second baseman, John Griffin. Ebling had his first strikeout to lead off the second, and then the polar opposite ends up biting him with a double. Out to left center field. Converging between Jared Hernandez and Aiden Huey, or excuse me, no, Rob Schweitzer. Hernandez is at third tonight, the hot corner. There's a line drive into left. That's going to be a base hit going out towards Schweitzer. Kuchera holds it third. A good decision there to not send him, and Griffin's got a 1-out single. And rounding out the order here will be Steve Massaro. Former Gloucester baseball alum, as in the Gloucester City Lions, not RCSJ Gloucester. Gloucester City actually won their first Colonial Conference Division title since 2005 this year in 2023, which was definitely a big accomplishment for them. But Massaro, now of TCNJ, going to ground one out towards short, picked up, throw to first, is in time, but the run does score as Kuchera comes home, and CHP is on the board first. It's 1-0. The RBI ground out, the most undervalued play that you can have in baseball. I mean, you get the out, but you score a run in the meantime. I don't think they would have wanted to try to turn a double play, and they ended up taking the more conservative approach and ended up basically taking one for the team and opting to be down by 1 instead of down by more if you boot the play. So it's 1-0 to Billy Rice. He singled, got all the way to third base, but did not score his first time. There's a strike. Folks, don't forget, tune in to DWB's football debut on Friday, August 25th between Cherry Hill East Cougars and the Triton Mustangs from Highland Regional High School in Blackwood. All of Triton's home games are being played at Highland due to a construction project in Triton. But with Coach Dominic Tomeo, we are still on for that broadcast to lead off the 2023 football season. So make sure to tune in, 6 p.m. start time on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. That one just missed. 3-1 count to Billy Rice with the All-Star Game Home Run Derby champion Adrian Gonzalez on deck for CHP. That one's going to be lofted out towards shallow left. Schweitzer going over. He makes the catch, and that will retire the side. CHP on a very valuable RBI ground out gets their first run after 2. It's 1-0 CHP. We'll be right back, folks. Beautiful skyline here from Pitman as we go to the top of the third. 1-0 in favor of Cherry Hill Pitman as we're going to get started here with CHBR in the top half of the third inning. Getting the offense started with Ryan Dipper, the DH. He'll be followed by Jared Hernandez and John Rorick as first pitch is a strike, 0-1 from Rob Humes. Popped up and foul. 0-2. Misses outside, 1-2. Oh my God, that's a spider, or that's a wasp. No wonder what that was. I caught it in my hand. I caught the wasp in my hand. It's 2-2. That's my phone. Jesus. Sorry. Everything's spiraling out here. Here in the top of the third. Just missed outside, and he goes from 0-2 to 3-2. Humes trying to shut him down. He's going to ground this one out towards left, but it's going to be booted and into right field for a base hit. Rounding first, but halting on the brakes and holding there. Going to be a single for Dipper. Second base hit for CHBR. And it's going to bring up Jared Hernandez, the third baseman. Oh, just missed. 1-0. So Dipper with the leadoff single. That one's a line shot out towards Griffin. Throw to second for one on the first. He got him. Double play. 4-6-3, and John Griffin quickly puts a halt to the CHBR rally, and there's 2 down. Great job there by John Griffin to turn the double play ball. That's hard to do at second base, especially when that shortstop is not all that close. I mean, Gonzalez likes to work pretty deep in his shifts, and this is going to bring up now John Rorick, the second baseman here, with a clean slate for CHBR. We've got a, hold on, why are they not showing up on my screen? There we go. Flock of birds flying by. Flock of seagulls, if you will. I was never diagnosed with ADHD, but I think if I have constant cameras panning to the seagulls flying by, I'd imagine that I have some symptom. But you want to get the panoramic shots. You want to get the scenery to really, you know, especially for the viewers at home who can't make it tonight, give them the best view possible of the ball game. It's 2-1. Humes delivers a ground ball out to third. Rollins is there, and the throw to first is in time, and the side is retired. Rorick grounds out, and the side is retired. Going to the bottom of the third, CHP still leads 1-0. Adrian Gonzalez leading off here in the bottom of the third inning here on Dan Wilkins broadcasting coverage of the Tri-County Baseball League semifinals between Cherry Hill Babe Ruth and Cherry Hill Pitman. Kind of like our own little Yankees-Mets, if you will. Same city, wildly different backgrounds, as Ebling delivers a strike to Gonzalez. 2, 3, and 4 due up for CHP, or Kip's bad guys. It's going to be Gonzalez, Rollins, and Lesh, as this one's hit high in the air, out towards center field, but Yui's got a beat on it, and he makes the catch, 1 down. Here is Chris Rollins now, the player manager. Swing and a miss. Upstairs and inside. Two and one. Misses way inside to Rollins, and it's 3-1. To Chris Rollins. Time is called. Strike two, count is full. Ebling kicks and delivers the payoff, which is poked out towards first. Over towards the foul line, and making the catch is Julian Costa. Two down, excuse me. Julian Costa did what Rob Humes couldn't and made a catch right up against the fence for the second out, as now Luke Lesh going to bat here in the cleanup spot for CHP. It's a big play right there. I mean, the fact that they were able to make that play and bring it down. Remember, this is very important for CHBR. They're down 1-0 in the series. They're gonna be down 1 run tonight, as that one is hit well, but playable out and right. Actually, no, over towards third, excuse me, and Hernandez makes the catch to retire the side after 3. 1-0 CHP over CHBR. We'll be right back. Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners, as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today at 226 South Whitehorse Pike in Audubon, New Jersey. We're open 7 days a week for all of your pets' needs.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here in the top of the 4th inning. It's time for DWB Trivia Time. Today's question is, how many MLB stadiums have a seating capacity of over 50,000 people? Is it A, 5, B, 12, C, 2, or D, 8? Remember, this is out of 30 MLB teams. The answer will be revealed in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-0 CHP after 3. There's a first pitch strike. 0-1 to Sean Sesdewicki, who's finally getting his second at-bat here in the 4th. After CHBR had 2 singles in their 10 batters, but also had that double play ball off the bat of Jared Hernandez. It's been a good night for Rob Humes, being the number 2 guy for, CHP. Kind of have to work in the shadow of Chris Rollins, the player manager, but, he's got 2 strikeouts, and he's got a good defense behind him that has backed him up. That one misses. 1-2. Two and two. Ground ball hit out towards short. Gonzalez is there. Throw to first is in time. One away. So a 6-3 ground out, and this brings up Bobby Woodward, the catcher. Sun getting a little bit deeper here at Pitman, 7:50 p.m. We're in the top of the 4th inning as that one's going to miss 1-0 to Woodward. It's going to miss 2-0. Two and one. That's a swing and a miss. 2-2. Justin says the wiki is on deck. Tapped foul over towards the CHP dugout. It's going to remain 2-2. Might have chopped off his foot or something like that. Kind of walking around a little bit. Those always sting. I've gotten a couple of those from my old playing days. I actually had a bone bruise when I was like 13 years old playing a junior league ball out in Haddon Heights. It was a weird one because a curveball swept in and it didn't hit my front ankle because I'm a left-handed hitter. It actually hit my back ankle, which hurt more. And Woodward down on strikes. 3rd K for Humes, and this brings up Justin Says the Wiki, who popped out to left his first time. Julian Costa on deck if the inning continues. One just missed, but it popped out of Alvarado's glove, and it's 1-0. Fouled off down the first base side, and it's 1-1. Just missed. Both Billy Rice and Montana Millward were like, what the heck was that all about? think they were looking for a strike 3 call there. Or, I'm sorry, a strike call. Just missed. 3-1. Strike 2. Full count, 2 down. Hume's looking to stay dominant. Just missed, ball 4. Close call, but just a hair outside. And that'll be a walk to Sesdewicki, and it brings up Julian Costa, the first baseman. First pitch. 1-0. So a ground out and a strikeout. But then a walk by Justin Sesdewicki is what we've had so far here in the 4th. Throw back to first, nothing going on. Close, but couldn't get him on the second try. Another time, this time it's going to go down the first base line. He's going to hold at second base. They want him to go 3, but he's going to be very conservative with it, and he's going to hold up, but that throw gets away. Some sloppy defense there from CHP. Puts that tying run on second base. That's going to be an E1. After that, he very easily could have gotten to third, and I think, honestly, in hindsight, he probably easily could have made it to third, but at the heat of the moment, he did not want to get thrown out. He already got the extra base. He didn't want to be too greedy and try going for 2 and get tossed in the meantime. That ball is going to bounce off of Gonzalez. CHBR chirping a little bit, giving their little fun about it. That one's going to be foul over towards the softball field, and it's 1-1. I mean, that was a chaotic last 90 seconds or so. I mean, really just couldn't really keep anything down. Two balls, one strike. Three and one count. That ball's hit well out towards right, and it is gone! 2-run home run, Julian Costa. And CHBR retakes the lead with authority. It's 2-1. A line drive out to right over the right field fence. Luckily, we're out of harm's way. It's before the hill. And Julian Costa makes it a 2-1 game. That was big. I mean, hey, he already had one homer this season, and the fact that he was able to put a charge into one and also get Sezda-Wiki home, taking advantage of that E1, that was big. That's a line drive over Griffin's head in the right for a base hit. Gonna go out to Milford. First pitch is a strike for Schweitzer. We're going to give it to them. I want to make sure it goes to the right guy. Thank you. Got the Julian Costa home run ball. I'll have to test my arm from right field out here. The swing and a miss. There's some little kids that were running around and they wanted to get it. There it is right there. See if we can get a good shot of that. There it is. Home run ball. Yeah, just like Zach Campbell. Oh, just missed 1 and 2. Costa with his second home run of the year. One-two pitch. Just low, 2 and 2. To Schweitzer. Frank Ebling on deck for CHBR. Two balls, 2 strikes to Schweitzer. That's a line drive out towards short. Gonzalez is there. Throw to second is in time, and the side is retired. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th. 2-1 CHBR. Julian Costa retakes the lead on a 2-run shot to right. We'll be right back. Here we go, bottom of the 4th inning. It's time for DWB Trivia Time. Today's question is, how many MLB stadiums have a seating capacity of over 50,000? Is it A, 5 out of 30, B, 12, C, 2, or D, 8? Our producer, Vincent, what's your guess?
C.
You're going to guess C, 2? You're going with the low ball, and that is correct. 2 out of 30 MLB stadiums have a seating capacity of over 50,000. As there's a foul ball back towards the first base side. And it's 0-1. To start the bottom half of the 4th. Only 2, both of them are in the NL West. The Dodger Stadium is 56 56,000 seats, and Coors Field in Colorado has just a hair over 50,000. Yankee Stadium used to have over 50,000 when they were the old iteration of Yankee Stadium up until 2008, and that's a hit by pitch. Giving CHP leadoff base runner here in the bottom of the fourth, as Millward gets plunked and Alvarado will now bat. So Millward plunked, and this brings up Lou Alvarado. He grounded into a fielder's choice his first time. There's a ground ball out towards short. This could be two. There's one. Quick throw by Rorik, and it is in plenty of time for a 4-6-3, or rather a 6-4-3 double play ball. And there's two down. I mean, I think Alvarado will be the first to tell you he's not the quickest runner in the show, but he's got that double play ball, unfortunately, now on his record. But this will bring up Sean Cottrell. He struck out in the second inning. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. One and one. Strike two. Time is called. This broadcast is brought to you in part by the Garden State Pet Center, your one-stop resource for everything involving your pet's needs, from the healthiest food choices available to everything from toys to pets, or rather to food and cages, everything in between, all of the accessories that you need. Visit today on the 200 block of Whitehorse Pike, or visit online at exoticpetsnj.com, open 7 days a week. Ebling delivers the 2-2. That's upstairs and inside, 3-2. Base is empty, two down. Pretty mundane start here to the bottom of the fourth. CHP was up by one, and now they've turned the tables and are now down by one after the two-run shot by Julian Costa. And there's a swing and a miss. Ebling with 4 strikeouts. The side is retired. He takes care of business pretty easily, and we go to the top of the fifth, 2-1, CHBR. Top of the fifth inning, CHBR leads 2-1 over the Cherry Hill Pitman team with a 2-run home run by Julian Costa out to right field. being what has been the main breaker so far, with a pop-up out towards shallow right. It's going to drop in front of both Millward and Griffin for a base hit. And now Ebling is going to get on here with a leadoff single. Or excuse me, that's Aiden Huey. So here's Ryan Dipper. With a runner on first and nobody out. Going down to second base. The throw is not in time, and a stolen base for Huey. Gets to second on the steal. Dipper singled his first time in the third inning with a leadoff single. One and one count. Sean Cottrell warming up in the pen for CHP. And there's a foul ball over deep down the right field line and into the soccer field down there. And that's way out there, no man's land. And there's a group of kiddos going out to grab it. That's a bullet foul, and Cottrell's got to look out. Wow. Talk about intimidating your opposition. How about a line drive right at your pitcher's face? 1-2. That's why some MLB teams got rid of the on-field bullpens and, you know, put them out beyond the fence in the outfield or something like that, but yeah, Cottrell and his warm-up partner have to kind of keep their head on a swivel right now. They're going to call time. And Humes and Alvarado will talk it out. Just getting a strategy here. I mean, you can obviously tell that that was just a quick, you know, do-over of their signs and everything that they're going over. Remember, this is a very humbling part of the baseball experience, that there's no pitch comm, there's no, you know, like for Huey, he could easily steal the signs from Alvarado and give them to the batter, to Dipper, but it's kind of like a moral obligation not to, you know, in this game. There's a ball, 2-2. Yeah, I mean, obviously Chris Rollins going to be unavailable because of his effort last night. I mean, a lot of these starting pitchers go all the way, but like with Bones Marciano and CHBR, they are very willing to kind of cut their losses early and pull the plug on the starting pitcher as soon as possible. They've always been the kind to do that. So we'll see if CHBR, I mean, I don't see anybody that's been warming up for them, so we'll have to see what they can work with. Time called. 2-1 ball game in favor of Cherry Hill Babe Ruth over Cherry Hill Pitman. Here in the top of the 5th inning. Here from Alcyon Park. Just about an hour and 20 minutes into our broadcast tonight. And the pitch, swing, and foul tip. Yeah, you got him. So there's one away. Strikeout for Humes, bringing up Jared Hernandez. Hernandez grounded into a double play, 4-6-3, his first time. Now he's dealing with a runner on second base, so we'll see what he can cook up here. Going down to third, uncontested, and Yui gets in there on a wild pitch, or a passed ball, whatever you want to call it. That's a hot shot out towards third. Rollins has it, throw to the plate. It's going to put him in a rundown. Look who's going down to second here. He's going to be trapped. Now the throw back to the plate. He's going to slip, and he's going to be tagged out, but getting all the way to second base will be Jared Hernandez. So they'll tag out Yui and prevent the run from scoring. Great defense there by CHP. But again, moving all the way up to second base will be Jared Hernandez. So John Rorick going to come up now. Now going to be more formalized meeting here after that kerfuffle. So with 2 down, infielder's going to talk it over and get everything settled. Two outs, runner on second being Hernandez. Rorick 0 for 1 tonight. There's a strike. Ground ball out towards the first base line, and it's going to be a fair ball and a tag at first. Pretty straightforward for Luke Lesh, and the side is retired. CHBR almost got another run home, but couldn't get all the cards in the right order. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 2-1 CHBR. We'll be right back. On the beautiful landscape here at Alcyon Park in Pitman, we've got a 2-1 ball game in favor of CHBR. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning, still chugging along here as getting it started after a 1-2-3 bottom half of the 4th inning. Brett Kuchera, John Griffin, and Steve Macero of Gloucester is going to bat here for CHP, the bottom of the order, 8, 9, and 10. Grounded out to short. Throw to first in time, one away. Alert baseball there from, excuse me, sorry, I was blanking Sesdewicki, because I got Sesdewicki and Rorik both mixed up, but John Griffin's gonna bat. I mean, it sounds like common sense, but it really is good to always be on top of the ball, and whoa, no one's gonna sail over Griffin's head, and it's 1-0. Griffin with a single in the second inning. Upstairs. 2-0. Getting decently dark here, and Pitman and Alcion. That one's gonna miss. 3-0. 3-0 count to Griffin. I mean, if CHP wants to get back in this game, I think where they need to start is at the bottom of the order. So he'll take a strike. They're definitely going to need the support from that side. There's a strike, 3-2. Folks, don't forget to tune in on Thursday, August 4th, as we cover the Audubon High School Charity Basketball Tournament from the Chestnut Street courts. As there's a ground ball out to first, it's going to sail past Griffin. It's going to go down the first base line towards the foul line. Griffin going to second base, and he'll hold up there. With a defensive blunder by CHBR, it now puts the Pitman club in position here in the bottom of the fifth. That's exactly what they needed out of Griffin. He put the ball in play and he made it work. It's going to be scored as an E3, second error for CHBR tonight. Actually, excuse me, there's one error on each side. There was an E1. As there's a floater into center field. That's going to be a base hit. It's going to go out to Yui. Coming around third. Griffin's going to try to score. The throw is way wide. It's cut off. Going down to second. He is out! Massaro got the RBI, but gave himself up in the process. It's 2-2. Steve Massaro with the 2 RBIs tonight. The bottom of the order being the unsung heroes for CHP. And that is going to bring up Billy Rice. 1 for 2. A single and a fly out his first 2 times up. So already 2 outs, but the game being tied thanks to Griffin there and Steve Massaro. They've made it great, and they've made this one a great ball game to follow. One and one. One and two count. Now with a tie game, everything's back to square one as we go deep into the night. Rice pokes one right back to the mound. It goes back to second, picked up. It is high. And an infield single for Billy Rice. That is technically going to be scored as a 6-4-3 single since it looked like it bounced off of Sesdewicki, went back to Rorik, and then was taken in at first base by Julian Costa. So now, that being said, Adrian Gonzalez going to bat here. He's had a couple of deep drives tonight, but has popped out to center both times, both for the first outs of the first and third innings respectively. So hopefully he doesn't end the streak here. It's going to make it 1-0. Throws over to first, nothing going on. upstairs. So they're going to meet out here. Bones Marciano going to talk to his guy. And they're going to go over what they need to do to get out of this jam. I mean, obviously not going to be easy. Not going to be an easy task with how everything's looking. Not only do you have a runner on first, but you've given up the lead that you had. So now you've got to rethink your plan a little bit. You can't go into this next batter thinking that everything's going to be all fine and dandy, because you've got a tie game on your hands. Think of it as a 0-0 ball game, really. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it, really. But with a 2-0 count, Ebling delivers, and it's going to be a strike. 2-1. Gotta say, Steve Massaro, if CHP holds on for the win tonight and advances to the Carter Cup, I think Steve Massaro might be a good candidate for player of the game. I mean, 2 runs scored by CHP. He's driven in both of them. Had the RBI ground out and had the RBI single. They are less, less notable RBIs than like doubles or home runs would be, but he's really showcasing what being a good hitter at the bottom of the order is all about. You don't have to hit home runs to be a good hitter at the bottom of the order. You've just got to be effective, and you've just got to help out your team, and that's exactly what we've got. Great team ball player. Throw over to first. They did not get him. Close call, though, with Billy Rice. I mean, we saw last night Zay Ishmael almost got himself in trouble a couple of times, but that's because he's got a very ambitious strategy leading off of first. And there's another one. Can't get him again. Focusing a lot of his attention onto that, but I don't know if it's necessary attention per se. It's a 3-2 count, runner on first, 2 outs, and a tie game, bottom of the 5th. First, pop up out towards left, down the line, going over Hernandez. He's backtracking, he dives. Did he make the catch? He did! He made the catch, Jared Hernandez. They don't think that he made the catch. CHP doesn't like it at all. It looked like that he made the catch, but Cherry Hill Pitman doesn't like that. And Billy Rice expressing his frustration. Some of the guys out of the dugout here, they're going to take the field, and it looks like there's going to be no contest. So after 5, it's going to be 2-2. Well, a frustrated crowd, to say the least, at least on the field, that is, after CHP didn't like the call made that Jared Hernandez made the catch. down the third base line. I mean, I can't really give my 2 cents, at least fairly, on it because it's out of my view and also out of my discretion. So Sean Cottrell gonna deliver a first pitch ground ball to third. Rollins throw to first in time. No way. But what a catch, Jared Hernandez, considering that was the result that stood. So Sezdowiecki grounds out. Bobby Woodward gonna bat here. Woodward 0 for 2. In fact, neither of the first or second hitters in the CHBR order have reached base tonight. They're combined 0 for 4. Actually now 0 for 5, now that you've got that 5-3 ground out on the record. This has really been a battle of the bottom of the orders, really showing that both of these teams can be very well-rounded. And after CHP won 10-1 on the road last night, a lot has changed with the complexion of this series now that things are possibly going to go to distance if CHBR can hold on by the end of tonight. But after what Steve Massaro did, I don't know. But the line for Robert Humes is going to end with 1, 2, 3, 4 strikeouts and 2 earned runs. Actually, only one of them being earned. That is a foul ball, left field line. Actually, no, excuse me. I'd be correct that that none of them would be earned because there was a walk, an E1, and then the home run. So that kind of nullifies it a bit, but I may also be completely incorrect on that. I'm not a Major League scorekeeper. The box score that I have may be different from the box score that you have. So, or the box score that is official at the end of the day. So I may be completely wrong. We'll see. 1-2. Woodward wavers at it, and he got him for a strikeout for Cottrell. And Woodward not happy with himself, and it brings up Justin Sezdowiecki. CHP looking for a no-doubles defense here. Trying to hang on. That ball is lofted in the air out to deep left. Playable. Wait, no, it's going to be more shallow than we thought. I don't think that Brett knew where that ball was. I don't think he knew where that ball was because that was way shallower than our cameras were pointed to, and Gonzalez ended up bringing it in for the last out. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still 2-2 ball game. Got a low-flying helicopter right there. There it is. That is low. See if we can get that shot right there. Look at that. That's something, right? Great shot there as bottom of the 6th inning, CHP and CHBR deadlocked at 2. We were about to come back from break. I'm just sitting down in my chair, and we've got this low bass-filled buzzing sound, and it sounded like a helicopter, and it flies right over us. I don't know where that would be headed, although to make it 1-1. Let me take a look at my map. If we're headed in that direction, you know what? That might be headed north towards the Joint Base, the Joint Air Force. I think it's Fort Dix and Fort I forget what the other one is, but McReynolds or something like that. I forget, but let's just say the Joint Air Force Base. Inside. Rollins, Lesh, and Millward, 3, 4, and 5. Due up for CHP. With a 2-2 count, Ebling delivers. Fastball. Couldn't get him. 3-2. Remember, Rollins also wagered he was going to hit a home run tonight, so he still got to deliver. Foul tip. That hit off of Woodward, and we'll start clean again. Still 2-2. 3-2, rather. Here we go. The payoff, Ebling will deliver to Rollins. Here we go. Fouled straight back. Just got a piece of it, and he stays alive. Definitely needed that. Rollins, deep left, going back. It is caught at the wall. What a play out there by Schweitzer, and there's one down. All I could think in my head was this guy who said he was going to go deep tonight was just a couple of feet from instantly being the player of the game. So a liner to left gives us our first out for Luke Lesh. Look, those were his words, not mine, and that one's going to be ball 1. There's a strike, 1-1. This broadcast is brought to you in part by Pearlie's Printing and Bantles, Banners, Signs, and Apparel, the true one-stop shop for all your print and promotional needs with a 5-star Google rating. That one's foul. Over 50 years in business, handling any ink-on-paper project, as well as banners, signs, apparel, and promotional merchandise. Try it again. Time is called. And Montana Millward on deck. Just missed. Again, to make it 2-2. Ebling kicks and delivers. Upstairs and inside. 3-2. Second full count that Ebling's gotten into this inning. You've got to imagine, I mean, CHBR does look like they have an arm ready, or at least warming up, that is. And that is ball 4. Lesh walks, and I think at this point we're just waiting for Bones Marciano to pull the plug. There's Angelo Marciano, the Tri-County League commissioner. He's sitting there in the dugout. Bones, the son of Angelo, standing over there down the third base line. He's getting ready. He's getting ready. I think he's waiting for his bullpen arms to be ready. But Montana Millward gets the first pitch, shatters the bat, out to third, on to second. The throw is wide. Does he tag the bag in time? He doesn't. An infield single, Montana Millward. And he shatters the bat and gets the single. You could see that. That piece of lumber right there, that could be used as a spear. And Gonzalez will take that one. He'll have to get a new one tomorrow, but now Ebling is out. I believe that they're going to pull the plug, and in fact they will. We're going to see a pitching change here presented by Paroli's Printing. Frankie Ebling surrenders 2 runners on with 1 down. And this will make things very, very interesting here in the bottom of the 6th. The new pitcher being for CHBR, number 77, that being Jack Norton. He'll replace Ebling here in the bottom of the 6th in a Paroli's Printing pitching change. We'll be right back. Jack Norton in relief for Frankie Ebling here in the bottom of the 6th. This could make things very interesting depending on how things play out with Lou Alvarado. Batting in the bottom of the 6th. If you're just joining us, you've joined at a great time. A walk to Luke Lesh and a broken bat single to Montana Millward have put us in the position we are now with 1 out and 2 on in the bottom of the 6th. Here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting coverage of the Tri-County Baseball League semifinals. Alvarado ahead in the count 1-0. Going to take a hack at it, and it's foul, 1-1. Norton of Immaculata, this season he's got on his record 22 2/3 innings pitched, 2.38 ERA, 28 strikeouts, 3 saves, and a 1.06 whip. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Still with 1 out, runners go. The ball is inside, throw to second base is in time, they got him. Millward tried going for the double steal. The lead runner is still in at third, that being Lesh. Luckily he was spared, Millward was not. But this puts things in a very ambiguous situation here with 2 down and a runner on third. Can Alvarado drive home that go-ahead run? Lesh taking a big lead off of third. That ball is low, 3-2. Makes things even more interesting now. If the inning continues, Sean Cottrell, the pitcher, is due up. Here we go. Jack Norton looking to get out of the jam and hold CHBR's tie with Cherry Hill Pitman. Time is called at the plate. The top of the 7th. First 3 would be Costa, who had the home run, Rob Schweitzer, and Frankie Ebling batting for the third base club. Here we go, 3-2. Ball is outside and low. Ball 4. Alvarado with a free pass. And now Cottrell will bat with runners on the corners. Time is called. They're going to have a courtesy runner for Alvarado. They're actually just going to swap helmets. So now we'll have a new runner on. As Cottrell, now in a meeting with their middle infielders, and Marciano coming out as well. They're going to go over strategy here. I mean, they tried the double steal. They got 1 runner, but I don't think they got who they wanted. I mean, you know, hey, if you get that guy at third, you'd have a much tamer situation with first and second than first and third. It's just something that you got to consider if you're CHBR third base. At this point in the ball game, there's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Best thing you can do, intentionally walk Cottrell and bring it down to Kuchera, but Kuchera's already had a double in the ball game as well. If you're just straight up looking at the box score, probably Cottrell's the better matchup here. He's 0 for 2. He's got 2 strikeouts tonight. Kuchera, he's 1 for 2. He came around to score on that double in the second inning. One misses low. But CHP's come a long way. I mean, they scored 10 runs last night, loaded the bases tonight, couldn't score. Loaded the bases in the first inning and couldn't score on 3 singles. So these guys have hit the ball a lot. They've been seeing CHBR really well. Question is, can that runner on third, Luke Lesh, take that 90-foot stride and give CHP that big lead that they needed in game 2? That one skips away. Lesh is going to hold, but going down to second base is going to be Alvarado's pinch runner. And that puts them in that very, very dangerous situation here, but that now occupies second base and reopens first base for business. But again, I'm saying here, I would not intentionally walk Kuchera because he struck out twice tonight. So if you happen to walk him, you know, be conservative around the zone. Sure, I guess that's fine, but I think that's Bones Marciano's call there. I don't think that that's something that Norton is 100% considering right now. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Cottrell going all out on that swing, and it's 2-1. Could make things interesting here. I mean, it's already interesting right now. I mean, CHP, the number 4 seed, it wouldn't be particularly an earth-shattering upset if they won. But they need to get a hit here. That's high, 3-1. I mean, yes, it would be more entertaining for TV to see a walk-off, but a go-ahead hit is just as good. It's just as productive, and it puts CHBR on notice here after getting humiliated last night by 9 runs. They're looking to put the final nail in the coffin for CHBR right now. Swing and a miss, 3-2. Again, John Griffin on deck. He's reached base both times tonight, has had a single, and he reached on an error his second time, coming around to score, and the RBI single by Massaro. 3-2 count. 2 on, time called at the plate. I think John Griffin could definitely be a good clutch option here if that first base gets occupied. Here we go. Stepping back in. 3-2 count. Norton kicks and delivers. Strike three, inside corner, he got him. Kuchera watches it, and the side is retired, leaving the go-ahead runs aboard. Lesh will have to walk back to the dugout, but retake the field pretty quickly because we've got a 7th inning to play, and we've got nobody in front. It's 2-2 after 6. A beautiful night here in Pitman, Alcyon Park. We've got a tie game after 6 innings. Cottrell on the hill facing Julian Costa, who has homered tonight for a swing and a miss. It's 0-1. It'll be Costa and then Rob Schweitzer, followed by Frankie Ebling. That one misses. He got him. Costa down on strikes. There's one away. Strikeout looking for Cottrell, his 2nd strikeout of the night. This brings up Rob Schweitzer. He is 1 for 1. He's got a single and a walk so far tonight. Gonna be 0-1. Just missed. To Schweitzer. There is a strike. 1-2. On deck is Frankie Ebling, who popped out and grounded out so far tonight. Could very well have extra innings if CHP can't get him home. I mean, they got darn close, but they just couldn't bring it home. That's a swing and a miss. 2 down. Nope, never mind. Guess we had the count wrong. Apologies there. I thought we had the count right, but let's try it again. That one's popped up foul. And that will be ball 4. So a quick turnaround, and it's going to be a 1-out walk for Schweitzer, as now Frankie Ebling will bat. Big spot here for CHBR. 1 on, 1 out. Most pivotal moment of the game so far. There's a strike, 0-1. Throw to first. He stood up, but he's going to be safe. Cottrell looking down his catcher, getting a grip ready. There is a strike. And it's 0-2. I think if CHP sweeps CHBR here, it will be a great testament to going a long way with so little. I mean, CHP was the final team to get the bye. They were the wild card. They beat Washington Township by the skin of their teeth in 3 games. And there's a swing and a miss, 2 down. So here is Aiden Huey. Huey 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single. Cottrell gets him to swing and miss. Ball is dead. I think he got a slight bit of contact on it. One and 1. That's a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner on first for CHBR. Cottrell delivers. Ground ball out to third. Rollins has it. Throws to first on a lollipop throw. He didn't get him. And Huey gets in. Seems like Rollins kind of overthrew Lesh a little bit, and he's going to end up reaching because of that. So Alvarado and Cottrell are going to meet now, with Ryan Dipper coming up the DH. I mean, just as it was contentious for CHP in the bottom of the 6th, it's just as much here in the top of the 7th. I mean, these guys have gotten 2 on, and I wouldn't blame that on Rollins for a bad throw. I'd honestly call that an infield single, but maybe some would call it an E5. I think it could really go either way. Schweitzer on second, Aiden Huey on first. Ryan Dipper 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout tonight at the dish. Cottrell kicks and delivers. Swing and a miss, 0-1 to Dipper. A lot of folks still here deep into the night, hanging around the first and third base lines, looking for quite an exciting show here from Alcyon. There's a strike. 0-2. Just about 8:58 p.m. encroaching 9 o'clock. Getting ready for a showdown between Sean Cottrell and Ryan Dipper. 2 on, 2 out, and an 0-2 count. CHP looking to bring it to the bottom half of the 7th in a tied 2-2 game. The 0-2 pitch is a swing and a miss. Cottrell gets out of the jam, and now it's going to be the Kips bad guys' job to walk it off and send the CHP club to the Carter Cup final. We go to the bottom of the 7th, 2-2 ballgame. Well, we're still hanging around here at Alcyon Park. We've got a wonderful ball game in store this evening as, for whatever reason, camera focus went out on me. But Jack Norton is still hurling here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's going to be Brett Kuchera leading it off with John Griffin on deck. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kuchera, Griffin, and Massaro, who has driven in both runs tonight. Kuchera 1 for 2. He hit a single in the 2nd inning. Massaro drove him in. That's going to be a fly ball popped up left center field. Going over is Huey, and he makes the catch. 1 down. Here's Griffin. Yeah, I have a feeling this game could very well go extras tonight. Seems like every game we do at Alcyon is an instant classic. I mean, there's so many great games that happen around these joints that it just makes for a beautiful night. First pitch upstairs to Griffin. And again, Steve Massaro, who had an RBI ground out in the 2nd and then had an RBI single in the 5th. There's a strike. They've had themselves in very different positions throughout the night, but Massaro's been the unsung hero for these guys. Those 2 runs on the board are there because of Steve Massaro. So, you know, don't count him out for being at the bottom of the order. He's just been their main guy tonight in terms of the offensive side of the ball. I mean, Rob Humes has done well. Mike Cottrell has done well as well. That's a swing and a miss. Norton delivers another strikeout to Griffin. And there's 2 down. So again, that unsung hero being Steve Massaro, representing Gloucester and TCNJ out in Ewing. He's going to step in here, facing Jack Norton. First pitch. Breaking ball, first strike, 0-1. If we go all the way to extras in inning number 8, the first 3 will be Jared Hernandez, John Rorick, and Sean Sesdewicki. 9, 10, and 1 as that one misses. 1-1. Folks, don't forget this broadcast is brought to you by Doug Does Anything, your local handyman. For any job needed, no matter how big or small, give Doug Does Anything a call, 856-412-0118. Down and away, 2-1. I think this is going to be very interesting. I mean, it's been a great ball game from pitch number 1. These guys have had all the energy all night. And a swing and a miss, 2-2. These guys have really upped the ante for being able to put all the energy out on the line. You saw Rob Humes falling into the CHP dugout trying to make a catch and crashing into a chain link fence. It's been crazy tonight. Floated, right field side, going over, and making the catch is John Rorick in between the first baseman, Costa, and the right fielder. Says DeWicki, and the side is retired. John Rorick, what a play out there. 7 innings are done, and we still don't have a winner. We go to extras, 2-2 ball game. Top of the 8th inning, seven innings couldn't decide the score and the outcome of tonight's ball game. So now we go to extras. Still out there, Sean Cottrell. In relief for Rob Humes. There's only been 2 pitchers for CHP tonight. Same with CHBR. They've gone with Frank Ebling and Jack Norton all the way. By the way, an update on that Gartons and Rough Riders game. Oh, wait, hold on. Here's a fly ball out to right center field. Going back, it is over the wall for a ground rule double. That's how we start the top of the 8th, with a ground rule double. You don't see a whole lot of those, but that's how we get it started. As number 21 gets the double. Yeah, I thought that had a chance of going out, but alas, it did not. So with Hernandez having the leadoff double, that's the second time he's reached base tonight. Now it's time for John Roerick. He's 0 for 2. And then after that, we'll go back to the top of the order. Roerick bunts, goes back to first, picked up by Cottrell, and it's going to be an infield hit. John Roerick with a bunt single after a bit of a kerfuffle in the infield. Absolutely perfectly placed. And it will bring up Sean Sesdewicki. I mean, we were talking about Steve Massaro being a player of the game candidate, but CHP would have to win the game for that to be the possibility. But there's a chance that both series end up going 3, and we'll have to make a decision on what game we want to cover tomorrow night. But make sure you follow our Twitter on DW Broadcasting for more updates on where we will be tomorrow night. Roerick goes, swing and a miss. That's going to be a foul tip. It's a foul ball, so he's got to go back. Roerick didn't know it was a foul ball, so he's got to go back. I mean, we've been 2 hours, 15 minutes into this broadcast, and there's a little bit of confusion here. No, because it was a foul tip, he's allowed to stay. The second base umpire told Roerick it was a foul ball and he had to go back, but the home plate umpire said, no, he's allowed to stay. Hernandez on third, Roerick on second. After the bunt single, infield in, everyone on the last tips of the grass. That one, they're going to say he went around. It's 0-2 to Sesdewicki. And he's 0 for 2. He's got a strikeout and 2 groundouts to his name tonight. And then on deck is Bobby Woodward, who's had 2 strikeouts and a pop-out tonight, so not much better, if at all. Cottrell already in a jam that he's got to work out of here in the 8th. Outside. Cottrell stares down Alvarado. Kicks and delivers. The 1-2. Ground ball out to third. Rollins has it. They're going to try to trap the runners between third and home. They got the out at first, so that will be the first out of the 8th. And as if the plan went perfectly, everyone holds up. That's going to be a 5-3 ground out, and I think with the fact that Hernandez might not be absolutely the quickest player out there, I think they didn't want to risk anything and didn't want to risk giving up what could have been a double play if they threw home. Woodward, swing and a miss, 0-1. Again, you don't need to intentionally walk him here. You don't need to put him on first to load the bases because he's 0 for 3. And the guy after him, that being Justin Sesdewicki, he's also 0 for 3. But that's because he's got a walk and 2 flyouts, and he also advanced on an error. Another swing and a miss, 0-2. The top three has only gotten on base a combined one time out of, twice out of a grand total of 4, 7, 10 at-bats. 10 ABs, only one base runner all night in those top three. Sesdewicki, Woodward, and Justin Sesdewicki. Cottrell delivers. Outside. Just missed. Again, the last time we got an update, it was 2-2 tie game between the Rough Riders and the Gartons in the bottom of the fifth in Camden, but that was at least 20 minutes ago, so that probably has changed since then. Fouled back by Woodward. Still 1-2. One ball, two strikes. The pitch upstairs, 2-2. The end of the inning, I might as well go out and get that baseball in the ground rule double. You could see a little speck out in center field. Two balls, two strikes. Infield in. Cottrell delivers. Another foul ball by Woodward. He is not going down yet. Woodward still in the hunt, trying to stay alive. The pitch popped up in the infield. No infield fly call, but it's not going to matter. The runner took off from third but held up. Kind of playing chicken a little bit there. Well, someone just took away the ground rule double baseball. Now with two outs, they're going to intentionally walk Justin Sesdewicki to now bring up Julian Costa. I think that's a mistake. I think that is very honestly not the right choice there, because you're bringing up a guy who's got a lot of power in his bat and a two-run homer to his name tonight. I couldn't think of a worse candidate to bring up with the bases loaded, because he would bring this game right out of contention if he hits it out of the yard. There's a foul ball deep onto the Little League field. And it's 1-1. Here we go. 1-1 count, two outs. Bases loaded. Justin Sesdewicki on first, John Rorick on second, and the delivery. There is a strike. 1-2. Can't get any more pivotal than this. Here we go. 1-2 count. Julian Costa, who's got a home run already in this one, with the bases loaded, versus Sean Cottrell. Up and away, 2-2. Cottrell staring down Alvarado. He's ready. He kicks, delivers, way high, 3-2. Release was a little off there, and now the count is full. Can't get any better than this. It's just like the scenario that every 8-year-old has experimented with in their backyard. Bases loaded, 3-2 count, tie game, 2 outs. We'll see what Julian Costa can do. He's got a home run in this ball game already. What can he deliver off of Sean Cottrell? The 3-2 is strike 3 called. What a strikeout for Sean Cottrell. The CHP dugout loves it. And a strikeout to retire the side. We remain tied. Going to the bottom of the 8th inning. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on. Lou Alvarado, he's not happy about something. I don't know what the deal was, but there might have been an altercation between Alvarado and some of the CHBR players. I don't know, but we'll check in on that after the break. We'll be right back. 2-2 going to the bottom of the 8th. Full moon tonight here in Pitman. It's the bottom of the 8th inning as the first pitch is going to miss, and it's 1-0. High intensity tonight. What we were just talking about a second ago was that Lou Alvarado was not happy with something, that there was something with the CHBR players. That's deep to right, but Rice will fly out. 1 away. I would have hated to that be a walk-off home run in the middle of a conversation, but we are hearing preliminary reports that the Rough Riders won 3-2 in Camden, meaning that the 18-1 Gartons of Vineland would be eliminated in the semifinals. I guess a taste of your own medicine after knocking out the reigning champions in the semifinals last year as a low seed. That would make things very interesting. If that's true, then that means that the Rough Riders would clinch their first Carter Cup appearance since 2021 when they won it all. And we'll see what Adrian Gonzalez can get going here. 1-0. Remember, he was the Home Run Derby champion in the All-Star game between the South Shore League and the Tri-County League, so he's certainly capable of hitting the ball out. He's come close a couple times tonight. But a big swing and a miss makes it 1-2. Just missed. Now, I haven't exactly looked yet at when the last Carter Cup appearance was for either of these clubs, but I don't think it's been within the last 3 or 4 years, so these guys will be very happy depending on who wins tonight. That one's a pop-up. And also, if the Rough Riders did win 3-2, then that means that the only game that we'll be covering is possibly this game if CHBR wins. If CHP wins tonight, then boom, we have our Carter Cup final. CHP and the Rough Riders settled and done. That also means that I get a day off tomorrow, so get 2 days to prepare for the Audubon basketball tournament on Chestnut Street tomorrow, on a Thursday, as Gonzalez is down on strikes. 2 down on the strikeout as Norton continues to deliver. bringing up Chris Rollins. If you remember, he lined out to left his last time, and time is called, and Norton holds on to the baseball. Remember, Chris Rollins told me before the game, he said, when I go deep tonight, make sure you mention it on the broadcast. What a time it would be for Chris Rollins to follow through on that. He said, hey Dan, when I go deep tonight, make sure you tell everybody on the broadcast that I said that was going to happen. And he came close his last at bat too. He was just a couple of feet out towards the Pitman Democrat sign. Very close to having a home run, but it was just a line out to left, not meant to be. That one misses. 2-1. We've already had a home run tonight. Julian Costa homered onto the not onto the hill, but onto the front of the hill. Estimated home run distance on that one by DWB Analytics was 353 feet. There's strike two. 2 strikes, 2 outs. This could very well be like the Washington Township CHP game, going deep into extras. We'll see what they can do. I don't want to get to bed too late tonight. Here's the 2-2. Strike 3. Norton gets out of it. He strikes out 2 of 3. And CHBR loves it. Tensions are high, emotions are high, but the score is not. After 8, 2-2, we remain tied. Alvarado is still having choice words with CHBR. We went to break, and these guys emotions are running high. And again, I think this goes back to a couple of choice words that were said the inning before. And these guys are now huddled around the CHBR dugout. The benches have basically cleared. We're going to go to a quick break, and we'll keep you updated. We'll be right back. Looks like things have mostly cleared up, and there was a full-blown fight that had broken out, and the umpires are going to talk this over. We're going to stay on air during this break here in the top of the 9th. It's a 2-2 ball game. I think what had happened was that Lou Alvarado had said, or at least he had taken displeasure with something that the CHBR players had said, and it was already escalating last inning. And then when Rollins struck out, CHBR seemed to up the ante a little bit and get the emotion overflowing and boiling over. Bill Kohut's down there. I think he's in the CHP dugout trying to be the peacemaker, but needless to say, this isn't your kids' game. These are grown men. These are college players. These are players in their 30s. They know how to fight like men. And we could very well, for an unfortunate aspect of the ball game, might see something around the corner tonight. So we're back here in the top of the 9th. CHBR and CHP tied 2-2, and I mean, sometimes you see bench clearing incidents in blowout games. Time is called. They're still chirping. There is still a lot of chirping. Oh, the
on-deck batter went.
Yeah, the on-deck batter went to the CHP dugout. Like he was gonna go in for an attack or something. I have never seen tensions this high in a baseball game in a long time. Here's a ground ball out to second. Griffin is there. Throw to first is in time. And also for viewers that may not have been happy with the fact that we went to break during the altercation, I was asked to go to break for sake of not having a bad PR for the league that we're broadcasting. So apologies to the viewers that missed out on the show, but we did record a backup of what had happened, and we can use it for disciplinary purposes if necessary, as determined by the administration of the Tri-County Baseball League. So apologies for all of that, and apologies to any future sudden breaks that we may go into depending on how rowdy this gets tonight. I mean, we've already seen one bench clearing incident. Things could get ugly if not mediated in the proper way. That's a swing and a miss. But, I mean, you just saw that swing right there from Ebling. He's swinging 120% right now, and that is all because he is fired up. Did he go? No, he didn't. First base umpire says no, and it's 1-2. Seems like everybody stayed in the game, so no ejections. I would imagine there's only ejections if this joint gets ugly. But Ebling goes down on strikes. And Aiden Huey gonna bat now. Just missed 1-0. And we did get confirmation from Bill Cohood and from Pat DiCostanzo. The Rough Riders have beaten the Gardens of Vineland 3-2 at the Camden Athletic Complex. They have clinched their first spot in the Carter Cup since 2021 when they won the Carter Cup title. This time, instead of doing it as a 1 seed, they're doing it as a 6 seed, knocking down the 3 and the 1 seeded teams, respectively. Excuse me. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Cottrell has already gotten a strikeout in this inning. He's got a fair number tonight. Lesh, Millward, and Alvarado, the man who's been at the center of these high tensions tonight, is going to be due up. Just missed outside. I mean, CHBR already, as we said before, they have their fair share of exuberant personalities, as the Rough Riders do and as CHP does. Everybody's got their chirpers, but sometimes those that do the chirping get themselves in trouble if they go over the line in a tough situation. Just missed outside. They said Huey didn't go around. But this level of emotion is what separates the Tri-County Baseball League from being a men's league or a beer league. Because this is competition. This is fierce, this is raw emotion, and it's unfiltered emotion that you can't find in a non-competitive men's softball league. There's a swing and a miss. Breaking ball, he got him. Alvarado will try to keep his P's and Q's walking to the dugout. We'll see what we can get here in the bottom of the ninth, 2-2 ball game. Although I think things have been mostly mediated now. We'll see if it holds. 2-2. Here we go, bottom of the ninth. Luke Lesh leading it off for CHP. I think things have been mostly settled now. You can see Bones Marciano talking out there with a couple of his guys, Ryan Dipper, but everyone is on the top step if they're not in the field. I mean, CHP, they're all standing. You can see, I think that's Montana Millward out there. This has been an instant classic, the second game this year at Alcyon Park to go a full 9 innings. We had a 10-inning game last week with Washington Township and Cherry Hill Pitman, and now these guys are in the same situation again in another 2-2 ball game. We haven't seen a single high-scoring game from Alcyon Park this year, or at least this summer, in the Tri-County League. It's been crazy. Just missed. 2-2. Again, it'll be 4, 5, and 6 for CHP. Luke Lesh, Montana Millward, and Lou Alvarado. And as we go, things could get more interesting as the night goes on, and you don't want to advocate for that. You know, if you're a TV viewer, you know, maybe some of you might be yelling at the TV right now, but I mean, I'll tell you, hairs are standing up on the back of my neck tonight. We've got an incredible night for baseball. That is a foul ball out towards the clubhouse. Towards the press box back there. Yeah, I don't know where Bill Cohood is, but he's... Oh, there he is. He's back there. I believe he's talking to Angelo Marciano. Obviously, as they're the commissioner and league organizer, they kind of have to be the chief peacemakers of this all. As there's a line drive to left, it's going to drop for a base hit for Lesh. Luke Lesh with a base hit to start the ninth. And now Montana Millward getting up here now. Runner on first, nobody out after the leadoff single by Lesh. That was the second time he got on base tonight. Millward 2 for 2. He's got 2 singles, and he was hit by a pitch. Fouled back. That's a line drive out to left, going back. That is a fair ball. Going to the wall. Lesh gonna hold it third. And it's a leadoff double, Montana Millward. Still no outs. And now Lou Alvarado. What a cap to his night. And what a lid to it if he would be the one to end this game. Woodward talking to Norton here. Luke Lesh on third. Montana Millward on second. Billy Rice getting a good fist bump there from Millward, as now the entire infield is meeting now. Bones Marciano out there to talk with them a little bit. I don't know if they're going to do a pitching change or what, but if they're going to do anything, they've got to do it now. I mean, there is no ifs, ands, or buts. You've got 2 on, nobody out. As I've said before, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Doesn't get any better than this. It's the situation that you play in your backyard when you've got the wiffle ball or the tennis ball and the plastic bat. Maybe it's a broomstick. These guys dream of playing in this moment. And not only are they living it right now, they're living it in the greatest playoff game that we've seen in years. With Lou Alvarado with a chance to play hero. Sean Cottrell, the pitcher and previously DH, is on deck. Live in the moment. Might never see another one like this one. Alvarado, first pitch, floated, out to right, going back. He's going to make the catch. Lesh tagging from third. The throw is on a line. It is not in time! Cherry Hill Pitman with a walk-off winner. Walk-off sacrifice fly, Lou Alvarado. They're still chirping with CHBR. The game is over. They're trying to hold him back. A rather subdued celebration. CHBR falls in 9 innings. CHP on top. Both teams clinch their tickets to the Carter Cup Finals. Next week in Pitman, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And the 6th seed will play the 4 seed to determine the winners. Alvarado giving some hugs there. Maybe things have now cooled off, but there are still words being thrown around. The game is over. I mean, it's done. It's settled. 3-2 the final, and Alvarado wins it. And we'll figure out what we're going to do in regards to postgame, but even though the game is over, the storylines don't end here. We'll be right back with our DWB postgame show presented by Doug Does Anything, your local handyman, and we'll see what we can get here in a 9-inning victory. CHB beats CHBR 3-2. We'll be right back. Down the first base line, but it's time for our DWB postgame show presented by Doug Does Anything, your local handyman. For any job done, no matter how big or small, give Doug Does Anything a call, 856-412-0118. We've got two players at a game today, Steve Mazzaro of TCNJ and then Lou Alvarado, our catcher. We'll talk to him in a minute, but Steve, you were the unsung hero of the game. You batted at the bottom of the order, still had the RBI ground out and the RBI single, drove in 2 of those 3 runs, even though from the outside looking in, you may not have been the star, you still were a key part of the ballgame. How did you feel out there today?
I felt great. Honestly, I came in, I told everyone I was feeling loose today. Just one of those days you wake up feeling good. I saw 2 pitches, my first 2 at-bats, RBI ground out, RBI single. Wasn't trying to think too much up there, just trying to do my job for the team, and we ended up pulling out a great win.
And it was great for you guys too. First Carter Cup appearance in a while, and as the 4 seed, you guys are going to be facing the 6 seed Rough Riders, who beat the Gartons of Vineland 3-2 tonight in Camden. So you guys are technically going to be the higher seed going into next week right here at Alcyon Park. Now that you guys are in the finals, what is your plan?
Just keep playing our ball. Don't let the bad guys get hot. That's been our motto. We're getting hot at the right time. I mean, we have depth all over the field. You can see it. Our pitching's been keeping us in every ball game, and we're just going to keep playing our game.
And that's great to hear. I mean, you know, you had that RBI ground out in the 2nd inning and then had the RBI single, but just got a little too greedy with it and got thrown out at second base in the 4th. But yeah, still, I mean, you guys played really hard out there from innings 1 through 9. You know, even with that Julian Costa home run for CHBR in the 4th inning, it was still a great opportunity for you guys to play your best ball and put it, for our cameras out there, put out your best version of a baseball game out there. I mean, you guys walked a lot, had a lot of singles, left the bases loaded though in the 1st. While you guys were going into extra innings, you know, obviously tensions boiling over and everything like that. What was the general mindset of what you guys were doing out there that, you know, you guys were capitalizing off of that energy from the opponents to give you guys fuel, give you guys life there?
Yeah, I mean, us being around here, being the older team in the league, nothing really phases us too much. We don't let our highs get too high or lows get too low. We kind of stay level-headed throughout. But that was a great baseball game. I mean, those are the games you live for. I told them in the dugout that was probably the most fun I had playing a baseball game in a very long time. Tensions are high both ways. Both pitchers are dealing. It just came up to that big hit at the end.
And that's what mattered.
Yep,
Thank you, Steve, very much.
Thank you.
One of 2 players at a game. We'll bring around Lou Alvarado for our 2nd interview of the night. Obviously, the scorecard shows that sacrifice fly in the 9th, but after that, or before that rather, the walk and then the fielder's choice and double play, you were the center of the stage for the concern that you were the final batter of the game, but you were much more to the game story than what it shows on the scorecard. Let me first ask, how did you feel out there tonight?
I felt great. You got to figure, I mean, I'm a veteran. I've been playing a long time. You know, I mean, the wear and tear of playing the catcher position, you know, I mean, it takes its toll. But I also know that I'm the heart of that team in regards to the defense and setting the tone for the pitchers. And I just try to do my job. That's all I can do.
And obviously, you know, you had that final hit and that final fly ball to right. What was your mindset out there? You know, you attacked early and you got the ball out to right field. What were you thinking? Just
trying to stay through the ball, stay behind the ball, drive the ball to the right side. You know, big RBI opportunity. Montana Millwood came out and gave us a big knock when we needed it, put us in a great position, and it just gave me an opportunity to do what I can do and what I do well, and that's driving runs.
Yeah, and your offense really set you up well after back-to-back 1, 2, 3 frames in the 7th and 8th. Lesh got it started with that base hit, and then Millward got it into the gap down the left field line. So all you had to do was drive them home, and that's exactly what you did. But I think what the main story that a lot of our viewers at home are going to have questions about are the tensions that boiled over. You know, you were kind of at the center of it, staying out there after the inning was over, and seemed like there were some choice words back and forth. And obviously, as we discussed before we went on air, we'll keep it TV friendly. But what was the central disagreement? What was the story back there?
At the end of the day, you know, it's playoff baseball. Tensions run high. You know, emotions will come out and get the best of you at times. You know, words were said. Nothing that I'm going to come out and discuss at this point in time.
Yeah.
But words were said. You know, cooler heads prevailed. You know, again, it got a little shaky, but you know, we ended up still finishing up a good baseball game. At the end of the day, we have a lot of respect for all the guys on the field, and that's the main thing we tried to stress to that other team. They're a great young ball club. They have a lot of talent, a lot of potential. But again, being part of this league for a long time, playing baseball for we're talking about over 30 years. I've been playing longer than they've been alive for a lot of them. So with all due respect, I just came out and had some words with them, just letting them know, listen, I'm playing baseball a long time. Let's have some respect for the game, have respect for each other, and let's play some good baseball.
And that's what we like to hear, the fact that you guys ended up seeming to have mediated things in the end, because the last thing you want is an ugly baseball game, and that's not something anybody would want. This is a 150-year-old, 200-year-old game. The traditions of it and the sanctity of the game are something that, some people like me and you hold very, very dearly. So the fact that it seemed like everything seemed to kind of boil over and then cool down a little bit towards the end, and you were the one not only at center stage for when things got hot, but it was also center stage when things mattered as well. Thank you, Lou, very much.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate you. Appreciate your work.
Thank you guys very much, and we will call it a night here after 9 innings. The final score between the Cherry Hill Pitman Ball Club, as they are still celebrating out in the dugout. They are still having a good time down in that first base dugout. They're a little bit out of my view, but we can still see them clear as day. So, from everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, the final score being 3-2 in 9 innings, walk-off sacrifice fly, Lou Alvarado of CHP. That means we'll be off tomorrow, and the Carter Cup for 2023 is set between the 6-seed Rough Riders and the 4-seed CHP. Black and orange versus black and white. We'll see how it goes. From everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, it's my producer, Vincent Vogt, my graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel and Caleb Lane, my social media manager, Anthony DePalma, and myself, Dan Wilkins. We will see you next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, right here from Alcyon Park, 7 p.m. every time, every day. Let's have a Carter Cup series. Let's have a good one, and you guys have a good one as well. Good night, everybody.